Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman. And I first want to thank you and the ranking member for the hard work in putting a very large and difficult bill together, and I know it takes a lot of work. On the issue on the Hyde Amendment, Madam Chairwoman, I understand that these are very deep-held beliefs. Some of us believe that protecting the lives of innocent children is paramount. And I understand that the other side has a difference of opinion, but I do also understand that for both sides, these are deeply held beliefs, which is why there has always been an understanding that, and it's been a bipartisan understanding. I'm glad that one of my colleagues read the letter by then Senator, now President Biden on this issue. So, you know, I guess people are now trying to say, oh, this is a radical point of view. Well, it wasn't radical. It's always been bipartisan. Again, even Mr. Biden believed that this point of view, the Hyde Amendment, was reasonable and respectful. And again, I understand that this is a sensitive issue, but there's always been an understanding that at least we should not force taxpayers who have very deep feelings about this to pay for abortions. This amendment doesn't change the issue of abortion. It's a discussion that we could have another day. This amendment just says that taxpayers should not be forced to pay for abortions when many believe that abortions, again, is something that's a red line because we're dealing with the life of an innocent child. And so I think it would be very unfortunate, because if there is a red line in this bill, it's this. And we all know that if this amendment does not pass, and this language, again, the elimination of the Hyde Amendment and the Weldon Amendment are not in here, this bill is not going anywhere, which is a shame because I know of all the work that has been put in it. Again, so I know that there's a lot of emotions, but this is the bottom line. Should taxpayers be forced to pay for abortions? There has been a bipartisan sentiment and agreement, and I think a national consensus on that. This bill eliminates that. This amendment solves that problem and would also allow this bill to eventually move forward. So I respectfully ask that we adhere to the reasonable compromise and agreement with the American people, bipartisan agreement that has existed, that is that taxpayers should not be forced to pay for abortions. I urge this language to be included, which again would make sure that Americans aren't forced to pay, that taxpayers aren't forced to pay for abortions. Without that, this bill is dead. Without that compromise, reasonable language that has been agreed to in a bipartisan way would not only jeopardize this bill, but I think would do lots of harm to this institution, because we have to be able to show the country that we can still work together. And it is not radical when Biden, people from the left and the right have always agreed taxpayers should not be forced to pay for abortions. That's why I urge the passage of this amendment. I yield back.